important that I do it well, that I do it correctly. You know, I'm taking a risk. I'm taking a risk because I'm doing something different.
Opening soon follows the true story of a restaurateur's vision from concept to opening night.
I'm not here to just say yes, David, yes, David, yes, David. I'm sure he has many of that around already. I'm just not one of them. I need an ace of pal, strip medium on the fly.
This system doesn't make any sense to anyone but the chef.
I would love to see an Asian noodle with a Latin sauce on it.
David Winner is a restaurateur who's not afraid to show who's boss.
You know, you have your own little fiefdom. You're the king. You're the ruler.
Paco, how you doing?
And you're used to telling everyone what to do.
Mark, sure. Coming here at 2:30 and driving back at 3:30. Okay.
He's impatient.
When I'm in the car, I scream at everyone on the road.
Confident.
I am focused, very focused, laser beam focused right now.
Outspoken.
I'll try the vegetarian, though, see how bad it is.
And about to face the biggest challenge of his career.
Independent restaurateurs take a huge chance with everything they do. Capital, time, effort. They really put themselves out there.
For 18 years, he reigned over a successful chain called Grillfish. Then in 2002, his business partnership went bust.
I think when you have a long-term relationship with anyone or anything, and then suddenly it ends, it's a big change in your life. And so all of a sudden I was feeling anxiety. I wasn't sure where I was, where I was going, what I wanted to do.
He decided to launch a vibrant new restaurant concept in a town he felt desperately needed one.
People here are pretty gray, pretty dull. You know, there's a lot of intelligence, there's a lot of money, but there's not a lot of artistic spirit here in Washington. People come here for politics.
David already owns 2 restaurants in the city, Logan Tavern and Grillfish DC. But his new project, Merkado, is a brave departure from these mid-market venues.
I think everyone likes Latin food, particularly in Washington. It's very popular. And we played around with it, and I wasn't loving it. And I kind of melded this Latin and Asian thing together.
The concept? A Latin cantina come Asian tea house.
It's a Latin restaurant with Asian flavors. And this whole back wall is going to be tiled in a sort of a traditional Latin type and color of tile. We're going to use some bright colors, which I think are very traditional in Latin America. And then some subtle Asian touches. And then the last big touch, we're going to have huge faces painted into the walls. We're going to be very ethnic and be diverse.
Mercado's Latin Asian menu requires a more skilled approach than David's other restaurants. Up until now, he's always worked with no-nonsense cooks.
I never wanted to be held hostage by a chef. But here we wanted to try to elevate the food. We wanted to do something a little different, and it's not something that's really been done, so I needed a chef.
4 kudos, all right? Give me 1 right now, please.
And the chef he found is as headstrong as he is.
I'm not here to just say yes, David, yes, David, yes, David. I'm sure he has many of that around already. I'm just not one of them.
Edward Kim is a disciple of superstar chef Jean-Georges von Richten and a veteran of Vong, the famous New York restaurant that pioneered cross-cultural fusion. This makes him ideally qualified to create the menu at Merkado, which he eventually hopes to co-own.
I didn't want just to be an employee. I am going to be a minority owner of the restaurant after the first year and a half when all the investors are paid off.
Edward also expects autonomy in the kitchen.
He writes my check. He is my boss. At the same time, I tell him what I believe is to be true and what course of action to take, because that's what he's paying me for.
Edward is envisioning a sophisticated melding of Mexican, Puerto Rican, and Cuban traditions with unexpected Asian accents. But his first pass at the menu clashes with David's vision.
When we started this thing out, you said to me you wanted to completely veer away from the whole Tex-Mex thing, and I said, fine.
Okay.
And I'm fine. You know what I
Okay.
think? But can you give me one quesadilla, burrito, fajita thing?
David, look at the menu.
No, I'm talking big plates now. I'm not talking apps.
Big plate. That's fine.
Can you give me that?
That's fine.
Can you give me that?
I'm not totally, Dave, I'm not totally inflexible. I'm working with you.
I am used to being the boss. You know, I say something that's usually just the beginning and the end of it. But Edward also was the boss where he comes from and is used to telling people what to do and used to having people listen to his words and his wisdom.
And Edward's wisdom dictates that David will not sample the food until the official tasting.
Not allowed to taste the food?
No, you guys are going to be tasting it as a group because I want to present to you in a certain way.
Yeah, the group is nice. I'm all into the group, but I'm interested in seeing what's going on.
You want to help me be my sous chef in the kitchen, Dave? I'm all for free labor, man.
I don't want to be your sous chef. You want to help me get a building permit.
Waiting for a building permit has put Merkado's construction badly behind schedule.
I want to be open on March 21st because that's the date I set. We start paying rent on the 24th, and I want to be under construction and paying rent.
Unfortunately, the building isn't cooperating.
This is a leak coming down here. I don't know from where, from what. The back door is still broken, and the floors and the walls haven't been sealed. This is not acceptable.
The structural fixes will be expensive, and Merkado's budget is already close to $500,000.
I guess it's about the most money I've ever raised, or ever raised in any restaurant I've been involved with, even with my partners. You know, it's important. It's important that I do it well, that I do it correctly, that I pay the shareholders back. You know, I'm taking a risk. I'm taking a risk because I'm doing something different. The contractor asked the question, the landlord asked the question, and every time we were met with, it's not a problem. And then it was all of a sudden, I'm sorry I made a mistake, it is a problem.
It's 4 weeks to Merkado's opening, and David is appalled by the lack of progress.
I had the most anxiety of any project I've ever had over the last 2 weeks.
The architect has just informed him that there is not enough electricity available to support the kitchen equipment.
Even though I asked the question 3 times, the contractor asked the question, the landlord asked the question, and every time we were met with, it's not a problem. And then it was all of a sudden, I'm sorry I made a mistake, it is a problem.
2 weeks later, the power is still not fixed, and the kitchen is a mess.
The HVAC guys are done as far as they can go. They got one big unit to hang. I just want to get that hood off the floor, that's it.
From about 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning, David doesn't like the world. He's demanding, and he wants everything to have happened yesterday.
Edward is forced to test his menu at David's other restaurant, Logan Tavern. He's determined not to let delays affect today's tasting.
I abhor excuses. Makes me a weenie. I hate being a weenie. Never been one. You know?
His first dish is a seared scallop salad with avocado, carrot, and red bell pepper. A team of managers will help David evaluate the food.
I think the scallop's delicious, and I think the salad's quite good too, but I'd eat it during the summer and no other time.
There isn't a punch to it. There's something missing.
I like the combination of flavors.
Next up, an Asian take on tuna.
This is the ahi loin that's marinated in ponzu. This is wasabi mashed potato with truffle bok choy and shiitake. This is grenadine-flavored ginger.
Needs more wasabi. Other than that, tuna's good, ginger's great.
I agree. Excellent. More heat, though.
So we're not changing except we're putting a little more fire in the mash, right?
This is the squid linguine. It does not have squid ink.
I think it has the makings of a really good sauce, like a black bean sauce. It's almost there.
I had great personal expectations for this. It sounds like it's a cool dish, calamari linguine. This doesn't look like linguine.
This is the fresh Tokyo-style ramen noodles. One is seafood, one is vegetable.
David, a committed carnivore, is pleasantly surprised.
I hate tofu. This is delicious. It's good, no?
No.
It's bland.
That's why we're not vegetarians.
Doesn't mean we should punish them.
Edward is upset.
Now, I know who I am. People know who I am, too. I'm not just some person who just graduated from CIA, like a year ago. I've done that 10 years ago.
Edward and David consult in private. First, the good news.
Oh, the grilled filet of ahi tuna. That was universally yes. Everyone feels you got an absolute winner there.
That's good.
Great dish. The calamari linguine. The way you described it, it sounded great. The sauce just, it tasted like mud.
Things go from bad to worse.
Why can't you give me an Asian noodle and put a Latin sauce on it?
Because when I visualize that in my head, I just don't get it.
I get it.
But my tongue doesn't get it. If I don't get it, it doesn't even reach the stage where I write it. You know what I mean?
Okay,
there has to be a reason behind it, you know, and I think I'm qualified with some talent, certain training to either support that reason or detract from it, you know what I mean? I don't want to make the entire menu look kind of dumb because the one item kind of stood out to be really moronic or really weird.
It's 1 week to Mercado's opening. The front of the house looks good, but the kitchen is still waiting for the power upgrade.
As soon as we have power, then we have hot water, and we have the fire. This is not something you buy at Kmart, so everything has to be custom made and sent. Now we're just waiting for the two 300 amp panels to show up.
No power, no kitchen. No kitchen, no staff training.
I lose 3 days of training, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
$20,000 in lost profits. I've been dogged and tortured by it. Tortured.
The power has finally been upgraded, but it took a lot more money and time than expected.
20 days, $1,500 a day for salaries and rents and other things, insurance. There's $30,000. $20,000 in lost profits. It's $50,000. I'm sure the electrician is $15,000 or $20,000. I might be conservative in that.
He just needs to vent. You have to just listen to him, let him get it out, and he feels better.
Now it's 3 days before opening, and David is $70,000 over budget.
I've been dogged and tortured by it. Tortured.
Edward's kitchen is finally up and running, but he has only 3 days to train a brand new staff.
I'll try to deal with it by just being a little more focused if I have to. Trying to be efficient, focused, direct, efficient, focused, direct.
To complicate matters, Edward's introducing a New York ordering system to the DC staff. The server takes the customer's order and punches it into the computer system here. The information is sent to the printer in the kitchen and pops up here. Usually, the chef would post the tickets for the line cooks to see, but in this system, Edward shouts out the information and his staff must commit the orders and their chronology to memory. The cooks won't be cooking at all unless Mercado passes its last-minute fire inspection. No permit, no opening.
So we're ready for our inspection, right, Joel?
The inspector goes through the kitchen with a fine-tooth comb. Bags are attached to the sprinkler system and should fill up with water when the fire alarm is set off. There's something wrong. The bags aren't filling quickly enough. Apparently, the wrong size nozzles were installed. Mercado fails the test.
We're screwed. I can't really read his face right now. It's like this grin that's almost like, I got all these people standing here, and now I got to bring them the bad news.
I thank you all. That was the longest fire inspection I've ever been through. 20 years and 11 fire inspections, but it is over. And we failed. That's the bad news. The good news is he's going to come back at 8:15 in the morning and pass us as long as we correct our minor little problems.
Edward has a mock service to prepare for, but he can't get into the kitchen until the sprinklers are fixed. 21 hours later, the sprinkler system is repaired. Edward is only now able to prepare for the mock service.
40 minutes over there. How are you looking over there? Marisco's gonna be ready to go, right? Yeah. Shank's gonna be ready to go, right? Shank's gonna be ready to go. Fish is gonna be ready to go, right? Fish is ready to go.
I have my concerns in the kitchen. Edward's clearly a very good chef, and his food has been amazingly well received. But he's also trying to train 8 guys beneath him to put out that food. And it's a tough process he's going through.
Make sure you guys taste everything before you put it up. Discipline, all right? Focus, direction, and discipline.
Family and friends are here to test drive the restaurant. The exercise will help Edward and David work out the kinks. Kink number 1, Edward insists the duck salad be served rare.
He doesn't want it rare. I heard you. I understand that. I'm telling you, we shouldn't have to wear this proper temperature. In other words, how would you like the duck salad served? No. No? Unless the guy says
serve it?
automatic rare.
But most people are not going to want it rare.
Automatic medium.
Automatic medium I could live with.
Kink number 2, Edward's New York ordering system.
Guys, stop for 1 second. 1 second, stop. Listen up. Right now, before anything else, I need an Ace of Pal, strip medium on the fly, okay?
This system doesn't make any sense to anyone but the chef.
Mid-rare on the fly. Got that?
I'm not happy. It makes sense to him, but it doesn't make any sense to me because I don't operate like this.
The worst kink of all, the food is not up to snuff.
It ain't good. 2 nights ago, or 48 hours ago, I was ready to bash my head through a plate glass window and call it quits.
It's 6 hours till Mercado's opening. Edward is busy meditating on the food. David is busy worrying about the food.
Well, you know, I think 2 nights ago, or 48 hours ago, I was ready to bash my head through a plate glass window and call it quits. Hopefully tonight things will sort of gel. I don't expect them to go perfectly. There's definitely going to be some food complication.
At the 5-hour mark, Edward is back with a vengeance.
Much better today than yesterday because I'm wide awake, ready to go.
It'll take more than a knife to cut through the tension here.
Are we gonna have the whole menu?
Yeah, but like minus shiitake for the udon, and that's about it.
Do you want to buy some shiitakes? The market across the street?
Edward scrambles to bring his staff up to speed.
Got bean dip going on, right? Make sure we got all three of seafood, all right? They're all udons. Make sure we got more udons cooked off, please.
Trying to begin to get some of the crap out of here that I've been asking him to get out of here for 5 days. I'm having fun.
What do you need right now to get it out? Too much acid in there.
Someone get a cloth, please, and wipe off the entire banquette. There's crumbs.
With 1 hour to go, an exhausted owner gives a pep talk, minus the pep.
We're a team here. We're all trying to work together at the same thing, and that is to make this restaurant work, make it profitable, and make a good living, and that's what I think our goal is here. So, but it's going to be a lot more pressure on you. So this is kind of live action, all right? But let's do it, guys and girls. We have a large following of people, a lot of people who expect, you know, good and positive things, and I hope we can deliver. I think this delivers.
Ready or not, the doors open and Mercado fills up fast.
Welcome to Mercado.
The first orders are in.
Smell now. What's my first course? Chicken empanada.
Chicken empanada.
Spring roll twice. A single ribeye meat rare. I need steak frites medium, shank. All right?
Edward joins his cooks behind the line and whips them into shape. Finally, food worthy of his reputation.
You always got to be careful with the ponzo because it can be overpowering, but it's very nice and balanced.
Edward is proud.
That's focus, direction, and discipline. I think so. And they made it happen. Brand new team, too. It's not bad.
David is relieved.
I do this. I even came home 2 nights ago and was like, I hate Edward, I hate my managers, I hate the city, I hate DCRA, and I'm never going to open another restaurant again. So let's see how this goes. I never put the cart before the horse.
With things looking up, the warring titans declare a truce.
But right now, I mean, today, I'm very proud, you know, regardless of the glitches, other than that, it's progress.
And I think that Edward will benefit from his experience with me. And, you know, I certainly hope it's the same way the other way around as well.
Mercado, an uneasy partnership, spawns a promising new restaurant. Find more at fineliving.com. Real information for real people.